On June 13th, 2024, Mojang released Minecraft 1.21, aka the Tricky Trials update. This included new blocks, new mobs being debris in the bog, a new revamp for raids through the Bad Omen effect, as well as a brand new structure called the Trial Chamber. Inside of the Trial Chamber, there are spawners which spawn enemies like the breeze, silverfish, skeleton, husk, and the bogged, and the new reward system called vaults, which can be opened with trial keys. Once the player defeats the spawner, items pop out. Sometimes the item is a trial key, which can be used to open up a vault for better gear. In this video, I'll be explaining why this update is one of the worst for single player, as well as the enjoyment as a game as a whole. Disclaimer, I've been playing Minecraft for years, I love this game, I just have mixed reviews about this update. I'm a casual player, and I'm not the type of player that enjoys making farms or using exploits for more resources. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video at any time, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, which would be awesome. And also leave a comment telling me what you guys think about this update. Anyways, onto the video. In order for the player to actually find a trial chamber, they must first unlock the map through a cartographer. Once the villagers leveled up to journeyman, there's a 67% chance it'll contain the trade. Once the player enters a trial chamber, they will see a beautiful layout which contains the brand new tough blocks. These tough blocks are laid with a huge variety of copper blocks. These contain anything from wax, chiseled copper, copper grates, to even the new light source, the copper bulb. Further down the chamber, the player might run into the first spawner. How these spawners work is they activate when a player or players are near it. Once these spawners activated, they explode a certain amount of mobs. This depends on the ticks as well as the amount of players. Basically, more players equals more mobs. After the spawner is defeated, the loot is randomized. This loot is either bread, cooked chicken, baked potatoes, poison of regeneration, a swiftness potion, or if the player or players are lucky enough, they might get a trial key. Once you obtain a trial key, you look for this bad boy. It's called a vault. Once you place this key inside of the vault, you get 3 items from this pool here. The items can either be nothing, emeralds, arrows of poison, iron ingots, wind charges, honey bottles, shields, enchanted bows, diamonds, golden apples, golden carrots, enchanted books, enchanted crossbows, iron gear including tools, armor trim, music disc, banner patterns, diamond gear including tools and armor, tridents, and even if the player or players are lucky enough, they might even get a ominous potion. With the ominous potion, one drink it grants the Bad Omen effect, which is the same as you get from the raid captains. You know, the pillagers with the banners, these annoying guys here. If you set foot inside of a village, you'll start a raid. If you're inside of a trial chamber, you'll start an anonymous trial. So basically, the anonymous trial is the same as before. Spawners spawn enemies, but with a much creative twist. This time there's more enemies, and the enemies have enchanted armor and also weapons. But the fun doesn't stop there. During the fight, random arrows, fire charges, and even potion effects will fall from the ceiling. As far as potion effects go, the developers added extremely creative and also trolly effects such as oozing, infested, weaving, and wind charged. Each effect gives the player or enemies a small buff. For an example, with oozing, when you kill an enemy with it, the corpse turn into 2 slimes. This I think is also hilarious because if the player isn't prepared, you can quickly go near respawn. Once you defeat an anonymous spawner, loot will empty out of the spawner like normal. Sadly enough, the loot tables won't change too much. Regular trial keys will become anonymous trial keys. If anonymous keys drop, the amount is based on the amount of players. If there are 3 players in the party, 3 keys will drop. If there's only 1 player, 1 key will drop. After you obtain an anonymous key, you look for this bad boy. Same as the vault before, but there's red candles by it. Once you enter the key, 3 items from the loot pool will pop out. These items can be emeralds, wind charges, arrows of slowness, diamonds, nothing, flow armor trim, notch apples, powder patterns, ominous bottles, blocks of emerald, iron, or diamond, enchanted crossbows, golden apples, enchanted diamond axes, music discs, enchanted books, or even the heavy core, which is used to create the mace. So after the trial, you're probably thinking, hey, I can do this again over and over again. Well, the thing is, with the vaults, anonymous and regular, you can only be used once per player, and there's no refresh period. And the structure only has a set few. For the regular spawners, they do have a cooldown. This all being said, you could in theory do the trial again after the cooldown and use all the spawners, which I've done. The issue is if you're done with the vault, you can just buy a new map, right? Well, in Java, you can get a brand new map. You can't get a new location from the villager. You physically have to find a brand new villager away from the previous vaults and then level them up again. Sounds like a grind for a short fight with mobs. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this is very enjoyable with friends or a small group, but in single player, it's boring. I just finished my first trial chamber in my Let's Play world, and I was annoyed at it. Not by the gameplay or fighting the mobs, but the looting system. What I mean is I don't enjoy how the vaults never reset. I don't enjoy how the breeze just shoots random wind balls that barely damage you and just jumps around saying, ha ha ha, can't get me, I deflect arrows, lol. And I don't like how the regular spawners just poop out food. This all being said, how does Mojang fix the trial chambers? Well, I think in multiplayer it's perfect. Everything blends well, the loot system works, the mobs minus the breeze do, the concept works. In single player, it's missing something. With single player, the player isn't trying to get 100 maces or 100 diamond tools or even trying to get god loot. The player is just trying to play the game as intended. They aren't trying to grind, and they don't want to grind. They're trying to have fun. Mind you, multiplayer, some players enjoy having fun, but some players just enjoy grinding for loot. And some people just want to find exploits to get much better loot. Now, I think the issue is Mojang has said before, they hate how players use mechanics such as farms, dupes, and other exploits, which I understand completely. Doing so makes the game less enjoyable. But the trial chambers in single player can't really be farmed regardless of refresh rate or not. Someone physically has to go into the trial chamber and kill the mobs to get the loot and then go from there. If you deleted the fact on to be looted once, made it numerous times with a refresh rate or a cooldown, it would increase the player's replayability and increase the fun or solo factor. But I feel like it would only have to be solo, not multiplayer. But I understand Minecraft's a game about building, creating lore, and vibing. But giving someone a one-time event inside of a room, then forcing the player to find a new villager, then trading, then mining down, just for a 30-minute joyride is way too many steps. What about the breeze? Well, when Minecraft added the warden inside of a previous update, the community was crazy hyped for it. A new mob with the ability to hear the player, this was 100% creative and forced the player to pretty much change the playstyle. You were forced to play spoil and carpet to sneak or else die. With the breeze, it's a mob that jumps up and down, shoots wind, and then flees. Sure, it has a mechanic where it deflects arrows, but it doesn't really change the gameplay or show new strategy. You can still run at it with a sword and kill it. Same goes with the warden, but the thing can easily one-shot you. My thoughts are, I think the breeze had potential. You could have made it to where when the breeze smacks you with wind charges, the player was paralyzed for a few seconds and can't move, or cause one item to become useless, kind of like how shields become useless after an axe hits it with a crit. But for some reason, they decided to create or not have the mob have as much potential as they want it to be. The mob isn't as creative as it should be. I understand that not every mob can be a warden, but the trial chambers are a room where there's a lot of player versus environment, so it needed a better mob than the breeze or the bog. All this being said, my closing thoughts are Mojang needs to fix how they view and use a single player experience. Embrace single player. It's fun. Multiplayer is fun, but some people enjoy discovering things solo. Let's face it, some people don't really have friends, and it's sad, but it's true. Not having a cooldown for a structure and forcing someone to find a new area, then add a bunch of hurdles is crazy, and it kills the joy of playing solo. Also, when you want to make a new creative area and bring creativity to it, you need to think outside of the norm and create a brand new mob that is nothing like we've seen before. If you want to see what the trial chambers could have been, I suggest watching Tango Tech's What If series, more specifically his video entitled Dungeon Upgrade. Anyways, these are just my opinions, and overall matters what you think. What do you guys think about this update? Have you played the trial chambers yet? Or should they add or change anything to the trial chambers? Or are they okay as is? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. Be good yourself and be good to other people. Have a great evening, night, day, or whatever it is. See you all in the next video.